This is Quartzsite. Let me tell you, if you're a nomad or you're thinking about trying this lifestyle out, or you just want to go camping for a couple months, long-term like kind of camping, you should come out to Quartzsite because there's tons of people out here, so you're not going to feel out of place or unsafe. People here are really friendly. We're all kind of the same. Like, we're all basically nomads or long-term campers. You can get a 2-week pass out here, but most people are getting the full 7-month pass. And if you don't know about that, it's $180, and it's worth it because you get dump, so you can dump your tanks all you want. You get as much water as you want. You can fill up anytime. I can take the truck in and get water. I'm camped about a mile from the water station, so you can get water anytime you want with just the truck, or you can take your trailer down there and fill up your trailer with water anytime you want. There's also dumpsters, so there's an easy way to get rid of all your garbage. But the cool thing is, like, it's just a really safe place. Like, I don't feel sketched out. Like, if I have to leave my trailer here for hours or for the whole day, or even overnight, every once in a while, I might have to do that. One example of that is Dodger. You don't see him here right now because he's in the trailer sleeping. He busted his knee. His ligament in his knee is busted. And I'm really worried about him, but he's actually doing really good. He can still walk around and everything. So I'm going to have to take him to get surgery here eventually. I'm working with the insurance company trying to figure all that out, and I feel really grateful that I'm in this spot because I can get that stuff all situated and figure that all out without any pressure of like, oh, I need to pull up my camp and get out of here in 2 weeks. We got the long-term camping pass, so we can stay here as long as we want. I can leave my trailer here, overnight if I need to when he gets his surgery. And Echo's just been chilling, so we haven't really been doing a lot of hikes. I'm about to go take a hike right now because I need to get out into that desert and have some fun. But I wanted to show you my camp here so you can just kind of get an idea of what a campsite at Quartzsite looks like. So that neighbor out there, they're probably 200 yards away. And my closest neighbor is over here. There's a blue van. And everybody is so quiet out here and like respectful. You can see him right back there. That guy's got a cat, and the cat kind of just runs around. Echo just watches the cat. And, usually I keep Echo tied up when he's in camp. And he's been really good, actually. He hasn't really needed to be tied up, but I do still tend to keep him tied up in camp. So there's neighbors around. This time of the year, there's a lot less people camped here, so this is really the time to be here. If you want a lot of space. There's always spots, though. I swear there's always spots. Even when this place is packed, just absolutely packed in January and into February. There's always spots you can find that give you some seclusion. But in this little area that I have, those are my two closest neighbors. And then out here is like the main road, and there's a lot of people out there you can see, but man, this is a lot less people than were here just a month ago. So let's do this tour of my camp so you can just kind of see how we live here. I pulled in and I was like, this looks like a good spot. It's right by the wash. See, the wash is right here, which is one thing I love to do with the dogs. And this really helps you have a place to walk the dogs and a place to go hiking and just stand out there, and you can set up a chair out there, sit out there. It's peaceful out there, and you can hike out that way to those mountains. It's miles out there if you wanted to. The furthest we've ever gone out there, me and the dog, is about 1.5 miles. It's just desert. It's beautiful, really beautiful desert. So, first, take a look at the back of my trailer. There's 2 things that you'll notice on the back of my trailer, and I'll tell you those at the end of the video. So take a look right now and see if you can figure out what's different about the back end of my trailer. I like to keep my camp really simple. When I pulled in, there was a little fire pit here, and I really don't do campfires because Dodger doesn't like campfires. So I rarely do campfires. So I camped right next to the fire pit because I knew I wasn't going to use it. But there is a fire pit that I have used a couple times because I had some people camping with me, and so we used the fire pit, and that was a lot of fun. There's the fire pit's just right there. Okay, so let me show you what I got going. I got my generator right here, and this is tied up with this cable. And this generator, man, I'm gonna do a whole video about this generator because this thing is probably, it's over 3 years old now. It's getting close to 4 years. You can see it kind of gets faded. I tend to keep it in the shade when I'm not using it, just because then it doesn't have to sit out in the sun. You know, the plastic will kind of deteriorate, that kind of thing. And the same with the cable. I throw the cable under the trailer so it's not laying out in the sun. This is the trailer cable. And then I have this this device right here. This is the surge protector, which I always use whenever I'm plugging the trailer in to something. And then it just has a regular AC plug right here. And that plugs right into the generator. This generator is awesome. I really don't have to use it too much, especially now when we got this much sun because I got the solar panels up on top. But I tend to leave it out because I do use it every once in a while. You can hear that kitty. That cat over there is starting to meow. See, Echo is really focused on it. He would chase the cat, like if the cat came into our camp, and the cat has like wandered around a little bit, but he's not gonna hurt the cat, but he'll scare the crap out of it for sure. Because he'll just run after it and start chasing it, you know. He really just wants to play. And then once the cat kind of gets cornered and like throws its claws up or hisses, he'll back off right away. But he'll scare the crap out of it. So that's why I got him tied up. The other things I got out here are things like, you know, these chalks. And I'll have links to all this stuff down below in the description so you can get more details about, you know, the stuff that I use. If you're interested in it, these are really cheap. These are like, you can get these for $5 to $7. You can pick these up at Harbor Freight, but they do also sell them on Amazon. So I'll have Amazon links to these. I like these chalks a lot. And something funny about these chalks is it's got these holes in it. And I guess it just keeps it light, or it's for the molding, or gives it some strength or whatever. But you can see like there's webs that tend to get in there. If I'm camped in a spot for a little while, there'll be spiders living in here. They'll put their eggs in there. You're gonna get like a wasp will put its little egg in there or whatever. So I clean these out, these holes. I have to clean these holes out every time. I gotta figure out a way to fill these up because where I put these is right in here, which is actually right under my bed. So the stuff gets stored in here, needs to be bug-free and clean and not smelly. Because then I'll get bugs. But otherwise, I mean, these are the chalks that pretty much everybody uses. They're cheap. It would be nice if they were colored brightly, but I really dig them. So I got a few other things out. This is my little rock collection, little things I've been finding. These are ones I'm not going to keep just because they're kind of big. But I do keep really small stuff that I find out here in the desert. So I have a little table out here. Got to put a rock on that because it gets windy. Got my little cheap camp chair, dog water, and that's my only floor mat I have. Some people put a big one out, but the wind picks up here, and like today it's going to get a little bit windier, and you're going to have problems with wind. So that's one of the major concerns out here when you leave stuff out in your camp. Pretty much the last thing I have out in camp usually is Echo's new bed that he got, and this thing's already fallen apart from the sun. I had to flip this fabric over because this side is rotted out from the sun. This was used when I got it. So flipping it over will give me, you know, a couple more months of use, and then I'm gonna have to trash it basically and pick up another one on Amazon. But this thing, like I said, this one was used, but I should be able to get the same kind of setup on Amazon. This thing, I really like it because it's been super windy out here, and for whatever reason, the wind doesn't pick this thing up. The center of it, I don't know if you can see that, allows the wind to go through it. I don't know if you can see that, but I think that kind of helps, plus the low profile, and Echo loves it. Of course, he's not using it right now, but he really does love it. And if you've seen in our latest videos, Echo got a new collar here. This thing's really reflective. and it's like rubber plastic, so it's water resistant, and you know, it doesn't absorb water or anything like that, which I like. And so I can see Echo in the distance with a light at night, and that's always a good thing. So I have his cable, and that's really all that I have out at camp. I like to keep my camp really simple. Some people's camps you'll see here in Quartzsite, and they'll just have tons of stuff out. And one other thing I should show you is what I do to the hitch here. Take a look at this. Everybody who has a hitch, you're gonna deal with this. It's covered in grease, and when I hit the road, a lot of times I'll rub all this old grease, and it's dirty and gritty. Clean that all off with just a paper towel, and then I'll add new grease to it. So this thing will be greasy, and it's funny because on my pants, you'll see it in my videos, these pants haven't incurred that damage yet, but what'll happen is it's right at knee level, and you'll just brush up against that. You get grease on your pants, you get this big grease stain here, and you got to wipe it off, and then you'll always have like a black mark right on your leg. Because the thing is, you're always going in the back of the truck, because I got a lot of gear in here. I keep my trash in here, dog food, water, tools back there, solar panel, gas, generator would go right here, more water here, and you know, of course I got a bike, things like that, walking stick. So what I learned to do is, and this I just found at one of my campsites like months ago. You know, I pick up trash when I can, and that stays on there. Even when it's super windy, it stays right on there. You just have to remember to pull it off when you're gonna go into town or whatever, because it'll fly off then probably. And that saves your knee. I love that. That's a good tip. I did have a neighbor that was my closest neighbor, and they were really quiet. The guy that was camped here, you know, I haven't really met my neighbors around here. I'll wave to them if they drive by or whatever, just so they know, like, I'm a friendly person. If anybody needs any help, then I'll do my best, you know, and vice versa, right? If I need help, then at least we've waved to each other. But because we're camped pretty far apart, if we were closer, then you do tend to bump into your neighbors and you kind of chat with them in the morning. And I've done that before. This year, I'm trying to kind of stay a little bit more secluded from other people. But anyways, this neighbor, I think he had Tourette's, because like I was saying, they're really quiet, but he would yell kind of throughout the day, and sometimes at night. And man, it's just like, wow, it makes you really grateful that you don't, you know, that we're, you know, we have our own issues out here, but we're healthy and everything. And you know, that the guy that had Tourette's, he's just yelling, and it's like, oh man, it just makes you think about how people live differently. People have different lifestyles than you do, than we do. So anyways, they had this really cool camp here, because like I said, now that they're gone, I can kind of check it out. So this is just an example of another campsite that you could pick out here. I mean, there's thousands of sites out here, and you don't even need like a official site, you know, with a fire ring or anything like that. You can just pick any spot out here. People camp out in the middle. See how this field out here is? I call it a field. It's just the desert. It's usually not all green like that, but you can camp right out there, right out in the middle. You know, you don't want to camp over any bushes or anything like that, but you'll find things like this where people have spent time, and they create like a little, it's like a little pathway, you know. So if you put your front door right here, now you've got rocks to step on. The people will make like their own little patios, and you know, like property lines, you know, see there's this row of rocks out here, and this whole road out here that goes out to the main road is lined with rocks. So someone spent a lot of time over probably years, or who knows, but there's another patio here that would work really good. So I've been thinking about moving to this site, but it does bring me closer to these neighbors out here. This is a nice site because they got this really cool patio. So I put my front door right here. It looks like that's where they had their front door, because you can kind of tell this spot in the dirt is worn. And so you could step out right here. Just kind of nice, just kind of fun to have like a little patio. And you see how green and lush it is out here? I mean, it's insane. Like, when you do come to Quartzsite and it's your first time, Don't expect it to look like this, because this is really, it's pretty unusual. I mean, it's so green here. It's just like, oh, we're like in a different place. And you can hear the doves, and someone's got a generator running in the distance. Man, it smells good over here too. I think it's these flowering plants right here with the yellow flowers. It kind of smells like coffee. It smells really good. Oh yeah, it smells really good out here. And so then here you got your fire pit, giant fire pit. And right here's the wash. And then out here, there's nobody camped out there. You're not allowed to camp out in this direction. This is BLM land still, which is Bureau of Land Management land, if you don't know what that means. And for the most part, you can camp on BLM land, you know, for 2 weeks. Out here, the rules are a little bit different because they're trying to keep people in these pockets where you can camp, these camping areas. So you can go out here all day and use this land, but you're not allowed to camp out here. Technically, you're not supposed to. So this is just great for hiking, adventuring, wandering with the dogs. You can be out here off leash, and you're not really even going to bump into anybody out here. Rarely will I see someone else out here. It's just great to camp in the wash. Right along the wash is just great. We're gonna go walk back to the trailer here, and we'll look at the back end of it, and I'll show you the two things that are different on the back end of my trailer. One of them is kind of a problem. It's a pretty big problem. But while we're hiking back there, I want to tell you about something that happened on the channel lately. Is every once in a while you guys will like send me and the dog something from our wish list, the Amazon wish list. And you know, that's really nice. That helps us out. And I always try to review those products a little bit so we can all kind of get a feel of how this stuff works. Because most of the stuff on that wish list it's either dog treats or stuff that I don't necessarily need, but that I kind of want. And it's stuff that I haven't used before for the most part. And so I can learn about those pieces of gear while you learn about them too. But then also people will every once in a while, Deborah, this is for you, thank you. Because, you know, she sent us a donation, and you guys don't have to do that. The best way you can support the channel, obviously, is you're watching the video right now. So I don't need to ask you to do that, but if you go in the description, and you don't even have to buy anything, if you just click on one of those Amazon links and check out the product, just take a look at it, you don't have to buy anything, that helps us out. So if you do buy something, that helps us out too. So those are just a couple ways you can help out the channel if you want. But obviously hit the thumbs up button, let us know you're watching. The dogs and I like to know you're watching. Now let's take a look at the back of my trailer. This is something I discovered, and I didn't discover it until I arrived here in Quartzsite. The last place I was camped, we had some serious winds. And I had no idea, but can you see what's missing? Yeah, you probably guessed by now. I got no license plate. So my license plate, it's just held on by this plastic frame that goes around this light. And then it just has these little tabs here, and they just broke off from the wind. You know, the plate would be sticking out here, and I guess the wind just grabs it and just works it. And then it broke it off. So I got to figure out my license plate situation. Being here in Quartzsite is a big relief because I don't need to take the trailer on the road. So I don't really even need a license plate for now. So I have plenty of time to figure that situation out. The other thing I got is this tire cover, spare tire cover. And that is really cool. It just makes the back end of the trailer look a little bit cleaner, and plus it obviously protects this tire, which is pretty much just exposed to the sun all day long. And this was off of my Amazon wish list. My aunt got this for me, which was super nice. And so there's a link to this And, you know, I'm not vouching for this product, like I haven't used it for very long, but it does what it does, you know. It's just a tire cover. It's got this elastic here. All right, so stay tuned to the Got Out channel and you'll see how we resolve the problem of the license plate missing in the future. And if you keep staying tuned, eventually we could see what Dodger's recovery from his knee surgery is like, which supposedly takes 2 or 3 months. And we're gonna be in the trailer. That's gonna be his recovery process. I think he'll do fine. And it's good that we're in this situation because I can spend time with him. I can, you know, be really focused on his recovery. But yeah, I'm really yeah, you all would feel the same way. I know you feel the same way about, like, it's your pet, you know. He's like my best buddy. And out here, he's absolutely valuable, and he's makes life out here so awesome. I mean, Echo does the same thing too, right? But this guy's younger. He's super strong, super fit, so I pretty much don't have to worry about him. Of course, he does get into trouble, this guy. I'm kind of trying to stand out of the wind. With the missing license plate, I'm sort of hemming and hawing about, like, did somebody steal it? Did somebody take it? Or maybe it like it fell off in a parking lot, and then maybe what if someone snags it? I was just thinking about all these things, like, is it stolen? Did I lose it? And all I can think of is it was from the wind. So it was just an accidental loss of my license plate. But it's definitely possible someone could just come by and just rip it off. I mean, it would be super easy to just pull it right off. And then I don't know what you do with a stolen plate, but probably not anything good. So that's actually a real concern of mine. Let's take a look at Dodger Dog. He hates being on camera. It's his back leg on the other side, his back left leg, and it's his knee joint that he busted. And when he walks, you can hear it like popping, and luckily he's able to use it a little bit. Like, he can put a little bit of weight on it, and he really doesn't seem to be in pain, but he is getting a little doggy depressed because he's having to lay down a lot more. He's not able to walk as far. He's kind of bummed out, but other than that, like, he seems pretty good, so I'm pretty grateful for that. You can see he got a new collar too. But this is my best buddy. He's such a good dog. He's such a good dog. You are a good dog. You're a good puppy. All right, well, we'll see you guys in the next video. You never know what you're going to find on the Got Out channel, right? Basically, you're just going to see dogs and me getting dirty and outdoor shots and gear, stuff like that. He's a good dog. You are a good dog. Well, I want you to see Dodger with a happy face, so I got 2 of these rawhide sticks left from some of our subscribers, Mark and Yumi. See, he's happy. He's a happy dog. So thanks, you guys, for sending us these treats. Dodger loves these. He can chew them for quite a while. Oh, he just bit that off. Little piece of blood there. Scraping his teeth, which is really a good thing. Yeah? Is that good? Let's see what Mr. Echo can do to these. Echo. Sit. Sit. You gotta wait. So thanks for sending these off our wish list. The dogs have no idea. They think it's from me, but I know it's from you guys. He just wants to go to his bed.